Hey, it's live time going live on YouTube. And I got some fun things to share with you today. As always, come in, leave a comment. We could talk about anything. But what I do each live session is I pick a structured topic that I want to talk about. And we'll do that. Tonight, I'm going to talk about house living versus car living. And we'll get into that. I want to talk about the differences that I feel. Yolanda's on the live comment, the first one. Yolanda, how are you? Good to see you. Hope you had a good day. What did I do today? I spent quality time with my mother part of the day. Other part of the day, the first part of the day, I did self care. I took care of myself. If you want to spend quality time with anybody, the first thing you should do is spend quality time with yourself. Go to the gym, go for a walk, do the errands you need to do for you. That way, when you spend time with somebody, you don't resent them, you're not in a rush, you don't have anxiety. Self care should be your number one priority every day when you wake up. When you're in a good mood, you're better to others around you. Never forget that. All right? And what I want to share with you today, Yolanda says, I'm great. How are you? I just broke that down. I feel good, pretty good overall. Very thankful. You have to let go of a sad thought as soon as you have it in your mind. Uh, so I'm always conscious of that. But during the course of today, um, what made me throw up in my mouth was watching some of the royal wedding. Today, as I make this video, there was a royal wedding. Somebody overseas in Europe. I don't know who they are. The prince and some other girl that looked like she starved herself to death to take good pictures. She still didn't look good as the other girl who got married a couple years ago, or the others. The who was the maid of honor a couple years ago from the royal family that she had a nice ass, Peta, in that white dress. She didn't even look that good. She looked like she starved herself, and it was just a horrible wedding. The guy's hairline was receding. Bad wedding. Not good. A lot of people watched it. I saw it on YouTube. Streamed over 1 million people watching it live. I got 11 people in the chat room. Now, what do I think is more exciting? Me talking about car living or watching a royal couple get married, putting up a big show in a church with a bunch of people just looking and gogging. I mean, the priest saying the same things over and over again. Look, don't mind fuck the ceremony. Look, do you take this person to be your husband, wife? You can knock that wedding out in 15 minutes. But what happens? It's a big show. That's why I hate being around people. The people like the show. I mean, they said the same thing over and over again. Now, sometimes in the video, I say the same thing over and over again. So, I mean, it's a fair point. But it's more exciting to me to talk about cars and RVs than, just to look at some girl that starved herself to fit in her dress, and some guy who, look, he was just born into wealth. He's not really that inspiring, and a bunch of people just admiring them and crying. Why are you crying? I mean, it's not even like romantic. It's like, give me the throw up emoji. I mean, look, marriage in itself is just a throw up emoji, in my opinion. I know some people believe in love, but disaster. Okay. So, where was I going? I was going today's structured topic, house living versus car living. I want to talk about the differences that I feel, especially today, because I spent part of my day in a house, spending time with my mom in a condo. In addition to that, those who watch the channel, they know I've owned my own condo for 15 years. Within the past 2 years, I sold my condo and I've been living full time in my Jeep Renegade. But obviously, I still know people. I still have relationships. So today, I spent most of the day in the house, and it makes me want to throw up. Why? Because there's a static, idle energy of just sitting in a house that is very uninspiring to me. You're enclosed from nature. You're looking out of a window to see nature, but all you see is sheetrock. And after you do some work, because I don't care what type of house, condo, apartment you live in, there's always something to do. And believe me, I was in there for a couple hours. Did my mom have me do a couple things? Yeah. Now, do I do it? Yes, because I love my mom. I thank God for my mom. But there's always something to do. So when you're in a house, the first part of the equation is there's always work. The second part is it's a drain on your energy because there's no action. It's static. There's static energy, not movement. And then some work. Now you're sitting static. Now what do you have to do? You got to watch TV because there's nothing else to do. You're bored out of your mind. My mom said, Sam, see if the Kardashians are on. For the millionth time. I looked, Kardashians weren't on. What was on? The royal puke emoji wedding. that I was very disappointed. Oh my God, it was a disaster, in my opinion. So we watched that. Then I just went to spend time with my mom, and I'm thankful for that. I'm very encouraged about that. I feel good every time I spend quality time. But it just reminded me that there is no way for me at this point in my life that I ever even want to think about house living. It's work, it's low energy, it's static energy, and it makes you watch TV because there's nothing else to do. There's nothing else to do. You have to watch someone else live a movie or present a movie to you because you're bored with your life. What do you do when you're in a house? You watch a movie. What's a movie? Someone else living their life and you watching it. You should want to be a movie. You should want to live an adventurous, inspired, high energy life. That's what I want to do. And all your sensors, when you're in a house, like your visual sensors, your hearing, your smelling, they're all dumbed down because you're not doing anything. And Chris, I see you, brother. I'm gonna read your comment. I got love for you, Chris. Very proud of you. All your sensors are just like they're dumbed down because you're like a blob. When you're full time and when you live in your car, live in an RV, your sensors are being used because you have to be alert. You have to be mindful of your surroundings. Look at this. You're surrounded by nature, and you have to, it's not a game of survival, but it's a game of, your sensors are being activated and you're alive. And there's a connection with nature. There's fresh air. There's movement. And there's excitement for me. There's a change of scenery, which is healthy for your mind. And there's a feeling that you're living life. You're not sitting, wasting life. Now, the biggest negative, of course, is, with regards to car living is, finding that spot to rest at the end of the night. That's the challenge. That's the plus with the house. You have that one spot, it's carved out for you. So that's where there's that trade-off. But again, there's campgrounds. Again, there's places you can go. And on a different note, also what I saw today that I wanted to talk about was I did see an RV that inspired me. Not thinking to get an RV. I think there's still a lot of work, but I can recognize when one is inspiring. Because I talked to my mom. I said, well, once my job settles in here, I talked about, taking her down to Florida maybe for a little bit. It'd be obviously, I ain't gonna take her to Jeep. She's old and not like that. But I talked about, RVs and stuff like that. There was a nice looking Class C or B plus. I don't know what it was. 2018 Thor on a Ford Transit chassis. Thor Compass. Very, very nice RV. But a lot of work. I mean, one is it was listed for $75,000. You could probably get that down to $60,000 negotiating. But the maintenance, the gas, it's a diesel, so that's not too bad. Supposedly gets 15 miles per gallon. So I was watching some YouTube videos on that just for daydreaming. Why do I really want? No, I'm very content with where I'm at now. But obviously, if I ever did something with my mom, I have to think about that. But that was just part of my daydreaming today. Do I daydream during the course of the day? Yes. I like to use my imagination. What's the greatest nation in the world? Your imagination. You don't get to your destiny without using your imagination. Now, you have to use wisdom. You have to use practicality, but you got to use your imagination. A lot of people today, they watched this royal wedding. They imagined it was them. Why don't you imagine something that can possibly happen with your life, okay? Instead of you starving yourself trying to fit in a dress, then after you fit in that dress, you're going to be eating. You can't wait to get pregnant. Why? Because you want to eat everything under the sun. The guy's hairline receding. He's wearing some type of, formal thing, very uncomfortable. I want to come to a wedding in my sweatpants and my sandals. If I can't do that, I ain't going to your wedding. Now, I'm not going to go to your wedding anyway. Why? It's a scam. I got to give you money because you want to get married. You got to at least cover the plate. Big scam. Weddings are scams. Baby showers are scams. All that scams. I mean, if you give money to anyone, you should go give money to somebody who's in debt and is in a tough position in life. You shouldn't give money to somebody who decided to get married. That's their choice. Okay? That's my opinion. You shouldn't give money to people who have kids. Look, they decide to have kids. What's a baby shower about? Baby shower, scam, my opinion. But people like to do this stuff. Back to the structured topic, and then we're going to get to some live comments. So house living versus car living. House living, static, low energy, not inspiring. You're going to watch TV because you're bored with your life. Car living, exciting, movement, high energy, connection with nature. sensory engagement, your sensors, your eyes, your ears, your nose, all your sensors are activated because, you're on the move. That's being alive. The biggest negative with car living is finding your spot at the end of the night. The biggest plus with house living is you have that one spot carved out. Now, on the downside, there was somebody above my mom's condo making some noise. So, you always got to deal with something. But those are my general thoughts. I like to start the beginning of the live feeds with some type of structure, some type of thing that's going on in my life. That's how I pick my live feeds. I pick it based on something, at least a structured topic, something I've been through in life, something I'm thinking about, or something that I want to talk about. But then the magic part of live feed is what we're about to go to right now. Live comments, if anyone wants to leave them. If they don't want to leave them, then what do? Do I tap dance for an hour just to stretch this out? Hell no. Not like the royal wedding where the priest, hands it over to the deaconess, then he hands it back to the priest, and they're saying the same thing over and over and over. Look, do you take this girl to be your wife, and do you take this guy to be your husband? They've already agreed to it. Just say that, give the wedding blessing, and get out of there. They stretch it out. Have I been to churches where the pastors and they stretch it out? Hell yeah, they stretch it out. Now, do I see people stretch out YouTube videos sometimes? Myself included, I try not to. So I guess it's all fair. But throw up emoji to that royal wedding, in my opinion. Do what you want. All right, my brother Chris, I want to get to his live comment. Chris spent time with his son today. Very proud of him. Worked hard, got his first paycheck this week. I'm very proud of Chris. Left a very encouraging comment on my page today, and I'm very proud of that, brother. Let's see what Chris got going on. Hey, Sam, I didn't watch it, but I heard the wedding cost people over $40 million in taxes. I'm not surprised. Okay, enough of that royal junk. Forward, all caps. That's right. Don't get stuck on that. Good job, Chris. Good job, brother. You're doing very good. Fire emoji to Chris. 40 million on a wedding. I can get stuck on that, and I can go on a whole rant. Will I? Not really. It reminds me of the scriptures when the prophet Samuel didn't want to appoint a king. He told the people, why are you asking for a king? God meant you to be free, not to be ruled over. But the people persisted that we want a king to lead us. And so reluctantly, Samuel granted their wish and gave them Saul. Sometimes people, they want someone to rule over them. They want someone to tell them what to do. They want the show. They want the show. They're willing to pay $40 million in taxes just so you can give them a show because they don't want to engage their life. They want somebody else to entertain them. That's the human nature part of life. That's been going on since biblical times. That's my opinion, and that's some fact in there. All right, let's move forward now. Yolanda, can't find throw up emoji. Huh. Well, it's there in spirit. I know you want to do it. I want to do it too. Since he gave the crying emoji. Chris, hey, Yolanda, good to see you. Sophie, hey, Sophie, you're great. Thank you, Sophie. You're great too. Thank you, Sophie. Yolanda at Chris, yes, she gave the crying emoji. That's the melt. I call the emoji that Yolanda gave, I call that the meltdown emoji. When there's so many tears like you're melting down, that's when you have a meltdown. GM 1989. Hello, Sammy. How are you? Overall good, brother. How are you today? How was your day? Tell me about you. Yolanda, imagination. Nice. Yes. Yes, what's the greatest nation? Imagination. Never forget it. It's good to daydream. It's good to focus. GM 1989. People get married when in debt. Yeah, I mean, I think marriage is an antiquated thing. I mean, if you're going to have children, you're going to have family, I guess, I don't know. If you're going to have children, you're going to have family, I would guess it's the right thing to do. But, I mean, they started to have marriage back in the day, and why spiritually because basically what happened was in the olden days, people would get married, the husband would get tired of the wife, and he would write her off. Jesus said that Moses permitted divorce only because your hearts were so hardened. But they had to stop that because at that time, there was a lot of destitute women. Because once a man got tired of the woman, he would just write her off. And in those times, women had no rights. Women had no social, economic pull in society. So they would be destitute. And so part of that process was, encouraging society to get into marriages and stay in them and not, just get divorced. But part of an evolved society was giving women equal economic and social empowerment so that if they do decide to get married, that it's based on, not just control of money. And if they do decide to get divorced, there's not destitute. Then you're not destitute, right? You have control of your own destiny because you have the ability to earn income and advance in society. And that's very important. Janice, I listened to you last night's stream on my way to and from a jam today. And my answer will be car. Yes. Janice, love and respect. Janice loves the musical arts. And she is talking about if she had to choose between a house and a car, she chooses car. What do I choose? I think you know what I choose. I'm living in a car. But I think about that often. You know, from someone who owned a house for 15 years and from periodically when I go visit friends or family members, that's very periodically because I don't really like to do that. I like to spend most of the time by myself, but I like to spend time with my mom. You know, I get very uninspired when I get in the house. I mean, after 15, 20 minutes, I'm ready to move again. I'm like, oh, it's a drag on my spirit. Now, it's a little bit of an annoyance at the end of the day in a car to find a spot to park safely and legally. So that's fair. I want to be honest with you, but it can be done. And it's worth it for me. Like I said, I had some daydreams today about RVing, but then when I say purchasing an RV, it would be mainly, for helping out my mom in her situation, but that wouldn't last long term. Why? Because she still is entangled with a sibling. And what I always am conscious of, Sam, you always have to make a decision based on what's best for you. If you make a decision based on someone else and not really what you want to do, it usually doesn't end up good. Meaning, I know a lot of people that bought a house and built a house for someone else, and then it still didn't make that someone else happy. And then here they are with a house that they don't want, but they built for someone else, and that's not inspiring. So you have to be very careful in life. Chris, thanks for the shout out, brother. All love, man. Thank you. Had fun with my son today. That's a blessing. Quality time with friends, family, or whoever. That's a blessing. Time with him is priceless. That's right. Also, self-care time is priceless. When you take care of yourself well, then you're better with others. Good job. Susanna G. Good evening, Sam. Susanna. Let me take a hydration break because I'm getting a little worked up. Janice says, RV or car? Yes, RV or car, that's a good question. Like I said, I pondered that today because I thought, well, if I take my mom down to Florida, at least for her, for a good part of the year, it wouldn't be possible in a car. I really don't want to rent a place. I don't want to buy a house. So I looked, just a daydream, I looked around a little bit at RVs. I looked at I don't know if it's a Class C or Class B plus. It's a Ford Compass 23-footer. Diesel engine on a Ford Transit chassis. $74,000 list price. Like I said, I think you can negotiate that down to $60,000. I looked at it. It would be reasonable. It would be doable based on how simple I'm living, based on my work situation. Be no problem to do financially. But it's back to a little bit of mental burdens that I don't know if I want. And I don't know how long that would last with my mom. I mean, I have to think about that. But it is a nice vehicle. I mean, YouTube that. At this point in my life, for me personally, it's still car. As I evolve, may I do RV? It's possible. I mean, once I really get full time in Florida too, I have to be conscious of, I can move a lot because I'll be mainly remote. I'll be remote as far as my job, but in Florida, there's a more of a challenge to find safe, legal parking. You pretty much have to be in a campground. Most of the Walmarts and things down there don't allow you to park overnight, whether you have a van, RV, or car. So, and that's when I may at one point look at an RV lot. Then if you have an RV lot, you got to have an RV, and then you get into this whole consumerism again, which I'm leery of, but I'm not totally taking off the table. But we'll see. I mean, I'm sharing my thoughts with you tonight. I think obviously as you get older, there is more of a need for comfort, but not necessarily. I mean, I see people on YouTube in their 60s and 70s still living in vans, etc. But I mean, RV is an option. I want to be on wheels. I'm not against RV living. I may at one point purchase an RV. I don't think anything can beat the freedom of car living. And I think you pay a mental and a financial price when you buy an RV. But you gain some comforts and you gain some things. But you lose a lot. Mentally, you're going to lose some mental freedom and you're going to lose some financial freedom. Life's about trade-offs, and life evolves as your age evolves. Um, but these are my thoughts today. And right now, I mean, I'm fully happy. I mean, so we'll see. We'll see. SW. Hey, Sam and everyone. And then she gave like a and then the and then the emoji down forward. Amen. Billy Jackson, our brother from Tampa. How many locations do you have to call home if you move every day? It's a good question. I mean, home to me is where I am. Home is with me all the time. No matter where I am. Home, they say home is where the heart is. Home is where I park. Home is a peace of mind. Uh, Home is definitely not a building, just like church is not a building. The church lives inside the people who are truly inspired by God. A home lives inside the hearts of people who are truly at peace and are truly spending quality time with someone they love. Because I've seen more families be destroyed by building homes than by anything else. So for me, I mean, in the beginning, it's a little bit rough because you have to totally reprogram your mind when you're constantly moving. But now, when you look at Earth and when you look at this world as pretty much, wherever you go physically, as long as you have peace of mind, you're at home. I'm good. So, one day I am going to look at RV lots. I am going to look at RVs of, I did that when I was down in Florida in the winter. I did some videos of different RV lot communities down in South Florida. Take a look at my playlist. There's some nice ones out there. Look about $100,000 to buy an RV lot. You got to buy an RV to put on it. The travel trailers are cheap, but you got to have a tow vehicle. That's the downside. And tow vehicles about $25,000. Cheapest travel trailers about $10,000. So right there, you're $35,000. I don't know. I don't like to tow stuff. That's what I do like about Class Bs, Class Cs. I mean, you're all in one, but you pay a price and a lot of maintenance. Just talking out loud. GM 1989. I've been sleeping for 8 hours after stopping coffee. It's been working out well for me. That's good. I'm glad to see you're going healthier. I still drink coffee, just at Starbucks. Oddly wake up feeling better. I'm at the job, got a stack for my next move. Amen. GM, do you have your next move planned? If you want to share, please share. Chris, hello, Sailing John. Amen. And friends. By the way, Sailing John, I saw here you commented on a video about brick masonry earlier today. What's the odds? Sailing John, good brother. Philip, what's going on, Philip? Love and respect. Hey, everyone. Hey, Philip, how are you, brother? Hand wave emoji to you. Philip had a question. Oh, good. What are your thoughts on sleeping at rest areas, truck stops? Love it. I sleep at them a lot. So again, you just have to check. There are some that aren't 24 hours. As far as you can't sleep there, you can only sleep there for like a few hours, 2 or 4 hours. That's rare. Most of them are. You can stay there for a period of 24 hours. I love them. Some of them are actually even patrolled by security. If they're not patrolled by a security guard, they're usually patrolled by the highway state troopers. But yeah, for one night, they're one night offs. For one nights, they're great. They're safe. They're legal. I've never really had an issue. I had an issue. I shared with you one other time in Georgia. I was in Georgia at a rest area, and somebody came up to my window at like midnight and asked for change. Some drunk guy. But that's part of life. But other than that, I've never had an issue. So I love them. I don't have a problem with them. But you just gotta remember, they're for one nights. That's not your home base. But yeah. Sailing John. Chris, my friend Mike, he's going to do some sailing with me. It's a very small world. We're all connected. Yeah, Sailing John, I was actually telling my mom about you. I actually met somebody that lives on their boat in New Jersey. That's Sailing John. Lost his wife within the past couple of years. Is healed. He never fully healed, but is healed. And he's going to get ready to take a scary move to undock his boat and to sail down to Florida in October 2018. Am I inspired by that? Yes. Your boat is not meant to be docked. Your boat is meant to be sailed. Your life is not meant to sit idle. Your life is meant to be lived. And that's, again, part of that house living. To me, it suffocates movement. It suffocates life. Again, this is for me and my perspective. I see some people that, they want to have a family. They want to be rooted down. Everyone has to live their life. For me, staying in a house, definitely for a few hours, I start to lose my inspiration. I like to keep my mind engaged and I like to move around. But I have my favorite areas and I like to kind of stay within those. So it's all relative. Billy Jackson. My question was more towards, do you have 100 different places to park so you don't spend too much time in one place so too long. Good question, Billy. Yeah, I mean, I'm not 100. I have a few, um, and I try to rotate them depending on my situation. Um, so I have a few. They're in rotation, um, and when I'm traveling abroad, that then I can just pretty much go at will. I mean, I've traveled up and down the East Coast, and I've stayed at rest areas, WalMarts, uh, different locations, campgrounds. So there's always a place to stay, and there's not an issue. I've never really had an issue. The issue is more or less, 8 o'clock at night comes, and you may have to drive 45 minutes to get where you need to get to be safe and legal, and it's not. It's different. At 8 o'clock at night when you live in a house, you got your sweatpants on, you're in your robe, you're getting ready to eat some food and watch TV, and you don't have to go anywhere for an extra 45 minutes. Now, but to me too, that's why I like car living. I mean, to me, that was like, I, when I would live in my house, especially towards the end, what it made me do was eat mindlessly. I got nothing else to do tonight. Let me just eat, stuff my face, and watch TV. Watch someone else live their life. So to me, part of the attraction of car living, RV living, or whatever you want to do mobily, is that you're living life, and you don't have to eat yourself to death to and watch TV to be entertained. A lot of people do that at night. I've done that. Now again, if you haven't taken care of your mind, body, soul, and you go out there and live in a car, you're still going to have diabetes, be overweight, and it doesn't matter how mobile you are. But I took care of mind, body, and soul before I hit the road. So I built on a solid foundation. And what I can tell you is the connection with nature is a healthier thing for me physically, mentally, and everything else. But to answer your question, back to your question, yeah, I don't have 100 spots. I've slept at probably over 100 in all my travels in the past couple of years. But, depending on the area, I have a handful, and I rotate through them, and I go from there. Good question, brother. Thank you, Billy. Billy, do you live in your car? Or do you long-term camp? I know you're from the Tampa area. Philip, give the smiley face emoji. Thank you, Philip. Love and respect, brother. Chris, I'm looking forward to spending time outside my 30-mile radius. That's huge. Sometime soon. I was just thinking about the deal with the heat than the cold. I don't think a swamp cooler will work. Well, what I can tell you is I've spent 2 winters in New Jersey living in my car, and what I can tell you is the cold is worse than the heat. Okay? Got very sick this winter, and cool is nice. I mean, spring and fall are the best times to go camping. When you're car living or RV living, you're camping. Now, RVs have heating and cooling, so it's a little bit different. But when you're car or tent camping, spring and fall are your best times of year. They're moderate temperatures. And what I can tell you is I've also slept in my car in 100-degree weather. Well, during the day it was 100 degrees. At night it got maybe to the 80s or 70s. And what I can tell you is I rather the heat than the cold, because it was below zero at a certain point of the year, below zero at night, and it's pretty much unbearable. Now, but you can get by. I mean, you have a sleeping bag, you have several layers, but you're going to wake up throughout the course of the night. But for me, I prefer heat over cold. Everyone wants moderate temperature for sleeping. Like, today was in the 60s, and right now it'll go down in the 50s tonight, low 50s, maybe even 40s. And that's great sleeping or camping weather. You put a blanket on and you're good. So you have to, but again, when you're a nomad, what you have to remember is movement is your main asset. Your flexibility as a nomad is your huge asset. When you're static, when you live stationary, that's a liability. Why is it a liability? If you have to change jobs and go to a different area in your state or a different state, you can do so at any time when you're living mobile, whether it's an RV or car. Why? Because mobility is your greatest asset and flexibility. When you're static, when you're living in a house or an apartment or whatever, you can't just get up and move. You have to wait for your lease to end. You have to sell a house, which can take at least 4.5, 6 months. Flexibility is your greatest asset. So even if you decide to whether you decide to live in a car or RV, even if with an RV with more expense and more mental aggravation, maybe with a little bit more maintenance, you're still on wheels. Okay, you have flexibility. It's a little bit less than a car or a van, but you're flexible. A mobile home isn't flexible. I mean, that's something that lands on blocks. That ain't going on. I mean, you can move it, but that ain't. For me, I mean, at this point in my life, whatever I live in will be on wheels. Why? Because I like flexibility as my asset. That's the difference between, to me, one of the big differences between house and car living. Static versus mobility. Mobility, especially in today's society with technology and how quick jobs turn around in life. And for me, mobility is the asset. And I think that's wisdom. I think it's a blessing to you. And it plays to my strengths. Let's go back to the comments. Sailing John. Amen, Sam. Love you, brother. Palm tree emoji. I love you too, brother. GM. Not clear yet on the next move. Okay. But I will be ready when the opportunity presents itself. I like that. That's wisdom. When you're not clear on the next move, keep moving, save up, and position yourself for the blessing. Sometimes you don't know the next move, but what do? You keep yourself productive. You save and you position yourself to be in an opportunity to receive the blessing. There's a quote that says, luck is where preparation meets opportunity. Okay? Luck is when preparation meets opportunity. That's wisdom. Chris, right on, Sailing John. It is so nice to meet everyone on Sam's channel. It's been a blessing. I met 90% encouraging, positive people. I met 10% negative. That's how life is. You're going to meet 90% decent people. Jesus said no one is good. No one's truly good, including me. But you're going to meet decent, inspiring people. You're going to meet 10% of real jerks that suck the energy out of you. But you have to learn not to evaluate 90% of people based on the 10% of bad. Never forget that. Yolanda at Sailing John. Wow, all caps. Undock. Happy sailing. That's right. Is it scary to undock? Whether you're like John, you live full-time in your boat, or if you're just living the same life for the past 20 years and you want to change, is it scary to undock your life? Yes. But somebody, Tiny Holmes something, forgive me for not remembering the name, on my recent video said that you have to be willing to get uncomfortable in order to live your destiny. And if you're docked too long, you're too comfortable in a sense of speaking. Now, I'm not saying that every day of your life should be uncomfortable. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, you know what I'm saying. You have to push yourself a little bit outside of your comfort zone, and you have to be willing to be a little scared. You have to be willing to take a little bit of calculated risk. Does it mean that you will always succeed? No, there's no guarantees in life, but it means that you'll live life. It means that you'll live life. Living the same years, 80 years in a row, is not success. That is settling. Gotta be careful. Jerry Savage. Hello, Sam. Bless you. Blessings black to you. Thank you, Jerry. Appreciate that. Robert, a.k.a. Traveling Van, smiley face emoji, thumbs up emoji, and Traveling Van, you know what I want from you? Give me a dookie emoji. Why? Because Traveling Van likes to give dookie emojis, and it makes them smile. I like Traveling Van. Robert, van life is all caps fun. Look, there is nothing more freeing than a van or car living. I mean, that's the freest you can be. RV living gives you a little bit more amenities. I mean, there's something to be said for that. House living gives you a lot of security, but it gives you also a lot of mental burdens, because let me tell you something, there's always work. Again, I was in my mom's house for a couple hours today. She had me doing a couple things. There's always something to do. Now, I'm not mad at that because I love my mom. Thank God for my mom. But what I'm trying to tell you is it's always work, okay? I'd even talked to a friend today. What we talked about soon, he has a house. As soon as we talked about it, he talked about working on a house. I love that, brother, but this is what I'm trying to tell you. So I don't want to spend my life working on a dwelling. I want to spend my life living my life, okay? Not working on my house, not painting, not sheetrocking, not hanging pictures, not, changing out appliances, not working on molding. I want to live my life outside. I want to, be engaged. I want to use my gifts. I just want to live a creative life. And a house doesn't do that for me, but everyone's different. Janice, my friends live in a tent. That's too, I don't want a tent, but I respect that. They live in a tent in a big island in Hawaii, the same place as the volcano. They are safe, but I told them they are lucky. They don't have a house to lose. Well, that's true. When you don't have a house, you have less to lose. When you have less to lose in life, you live more free, because then you can really be free to be you. You don't feel like, something's going to happen to everything you own. But what I can tell you is a tent is not wisdom for me. Why a tent is not mobility. A tent does not give you flexibility. Okay? A tent to me is not inspiring. I mean, I like my car or my van, my car being a tent. If you had a van, it would be your tent. If you had an RV, it'd be your tent. And it's on wheels. I don't have to go and put up my tent. Then if the wind or the conditions isn't right, or a camper comes next to me, I don't have to take down that tent, put it in my car, and go. I like being in my car. If I don't like it, if I don't feel right about the situation, I start my car and I'm gone. It's great for the rain. I'm totally enclosed. I keep my windows cracked. I feel more secure. So that's for me. Now, but again, I know a great person that he long-term tent camps and he loves his tent. He loves being in the outdoors even more than me. So everyone's different. You should follow whatever your passion is. I respect different passions. So good comment. Robert, just hop in my big ass and ride a roll. That's right. I'm not mad at that. Robert, traveling man, Billy, sadly, not living in a car yet. I have too much stuff and family issues to deal with for another few years. Well, thank you, Billy, for sharing that. Family issues are the hardest. Why? Because you're happy when you're dealing with family issues. What you're basically saying, which I've dealt with in life, is that your happiness is contingent on somebody else. I like owning my own life, not. But what I've learned in life, no one's going to do that other than you, right? So I allocated today that I wanted to spend quality time with my mom. But what did I do? I didn't do like I did when I was very young and immature, that, okay, I want to spend time with my mom today, so I'm just going to go there first thing in the morning and spend time with her. No, no, no. What I did was I prioritized my self-care. I went to the gym early in the morning, then I went for a walk, then I did some errands, then I grabbed myself something to eat. Then by the time mid-afternoon came, when I had took care of myself well, then I had the mental, physical, and emotional capacity to deal with somebody else. And that's when I went and spent time with my quality. That's when I went and spent time with my mom, and it was quality. Why was it quality? Because I took care of myself well. Anytime you force yourself to spend time with your family, but you haven't exercised self-care, it's not going to be quality time. It's going to be showtime. It's going to be showtime. Remember, like Lakers? The Lakers in the 80s, it was showtime. That's how it's going to be when you don't take care of self-care. And you just go, I got to spend family time today because it's the weekend. Not good. Now, remember the R&B group High Five from the 90s? They had a song called Quality Time. Okay? When my pager goes off, I'll spend quality time with you. Remember that? Somebody right now, YouTube search the group High Five, and the song is called Quality Time. Classic. Good R&B song. Okay? Gilbert. Evening, everybody. Sammy. Gilbert, love and respect. Meadow Tails, I've been thinking about you. Meadow gave me the smiley face emoji, and then she gave the wave. Love and respect to Meadow. Beautiful Meadow. Good to see you. Yolanda. I knew you looked a little different. In my mind, made allowance for your glasses. Yes. I wear glasses, and when I don't wear glasses, I wear contacts. That's why I look different tonight. I got my contacts in. That you aren't wearing. That's right. But when you put your hat on, covered, your eyebrows, that is. Oh, yeah, when I hat on, I look a certain way. Hat off, look a certain way. What does that remind me of? That reminds me of a girl I met at my friend's cookout. She was looking great. She had long hair. She had like this nice outfit on. I said, oh, shit, I got her number. Went to pick her up the next day. Okay? What did she come in? She came in my house with a Michael Jordan. I mean, in my car with a Michael Jordan. She was like straight Erykah Badu, the bold version. After I just met her with long hair. It was totally shocking. What was she doing? She was wearing a wig when I met her at the cookout. And she had red Ronald McDonald shoes on. And she didn't have like a nice outfit. It looked totally different. What was another time somebody looked totally different? When I dated a stripper. Now, when I saw her in the strip club, when she was wearing a bikini, basically, she looked totally different than when I picked her up with clothes on. What's the lesson there? I look different when I have no hat on, when I have a hat on, and when I have my glasses on. What's the lesson you should learn? Be very careful. People can look different in different lighting. Jerry Seinfeld had a whole episode about that. How different girls can look different in different lighting. I could look different at any time. Gotta be very careful. Robert, give a dookie emoji. Good job. Back. Back. What's up, Sam? I'm just having fun, man. I like that fun life. Some people don't like that fun. It was decent, not too bad, but a little hotter for me. Thank you. Good to see you, Pack. Love and respect to you and your family. Philip gave about 8 dookie emojis. Good job, Philip. Yolanda, I never seen your whole face uncovered. I'm electric today. Good job, Yolanda. Chris, hey, Gilbert. Thanks for the 90%. I can also say that living by the wisdom that you present can change a person's life for the better, that I can attest. Forward, all caps, I love that, has become a mantra I live by. Amen. Thank you. And that forward, all caps, is inspiring every time I see it. Thank you for writing that. Thank you, Selling John. Thank you, everyone who shares their life and inspires others. That's a blessing. Gilbert, hey, Chris. AJ, what's going on, brother? What's up, Sam? What's going on, brother? Good to see you. Love and respect to Arizona. That's where AJ's from. We got love for AJ. Yolanda, oh my. Gilbert, Sammy, when it's okay to care that you don't care, and you should make the difference in your forward movement. I want to read that again. Gilbert says, Sammy, when is it okay to care that you don't care, and should you make a difference in your forward movement? I don't know if I'm reading that right. What I can say is, this is what my answer to that. Don't mind fuck it forward. Don't mind fuck it, all caps forward. That's my answer. Good job, Gilbert. Move it. Here I did it. Gilbert says, move it, all caps forward. There you go. Gilbert, you answered your own question. Good job. Richard, what's going on, brother? Blessings from Madison, Wisconsin. Love and respect to Madison, Wisconsin. And love and respect to Wisconsin. When I think of Wisconsin, what do I think about? There was a running back. Was this something? There was a running back, something Dane. They called him Great Dane. He got drafted by the New York Giants. He played for the Wisconsin college football team. They called him Great Dane. I forgot his name. Number 27. That's what I think about when I think about Wisconsin. Susan, love and respect to Wyoming. And then you get the smiley face emoji. What do I think about when I think about my Wyoming? There was a movie, I think, on a Lifetime channel that I watched with my mom one time. It was about back in the day when, like, the West was still being explored. And there was a lady that went to come visit, like, a group of guys on a ranch. And they were saying, oh, she went in the spring or the summertime. She said, Wyoming is so beautiful. And the guys who had lost their mother, they said, oh, you don't realize how horrible it is in the winter. It's a totally different world. And I can relate to that. D, love and respect to New Hampshire. Hey, Sammy and everyone. Smiley face. That's what I like. Robert says, Wisconsin equals cheese. Gotta be careful. Cheese, dairy, is the #1 source of saturated fat. Now, I used to be 350 pounds. Did I like a cheese pizza pie? Oh, yeah, I did. Okay? You gotta be careful, though. Cheese not good. Robert says, my Facebook name is Cheesy McStuffins. Good job, Robert. I like that nickname. Made me laugh, man. Good job, brother. Robert, man, good job. Cheesy McStuffins. No wonder you got the dookie emoji. Cheese will make you dookie. Gilbert. Hey, Robert. Hey, D. Well, it's a good day, guys. Overall, it's positive. I'm thankful. Billy, do you invest in Bitcoin? No, I don't. Do some day trading, but I don't invest in Bitcoin. I don't do any investments as far as like long-term strategies. This is my personal opinion. Everything is risk. I have no magic answer to anyone. Where have I made really all my money? Working and living below my means. So I'm not one of these people that try to preach like I have a magic investment. But I'm not against. Look, if somebody wants to invest in Bitcoin, if somebody wants to risk money in some type of risk, do whatever you want. When you work and you earn your own living, you can do whatever you want. Some people spend it on clothes, some people spend it on housing, some people spend it on travel, some people spend their money on whatever. I always say, look, as long as I still preach live below your means, but if you're living below your means and you have a certain amount of money you want to play with, I say do whatever you want with it. Just not my thing. Robert says, hey, Gilbert. D says, it was raining and cold here. It was raining in the morning. I'm sure it was a little colder in New Hampshire. Stay at a campground at the ocean last night. It was cold. Brr. Oh, yeah, it definitely was, I'm sure. Well, I'm glad you camped out. That's good. At least you got out there. You know, there's no way really to cut it other than you're going to have to get out there. You're going to have to learn and grow and just, again, that's part of that getting outside of your 30-mile radius mindset and actual life experience. You grow every time you go outside your 30-mile radius. You expand your mind. You build self-confidence. And you broaden your perspective of life. Nothing will broaden your perspective like travel, like getting outside of your 30-mile radius. And nothing definitely like camping or car living where you're not being enclosed in a sheetrock shell and you never see life. That's why, like, a lot of times, like, I know, what was my mom saying today? She was saying something like, I can't believe these neighbors, like, we never see them. It's like they live in their house and they never come out. There's some people that they never come out of their house. I mean, they come out of their house to go to the grocery store and they go right back in their house, and that's where they hibernate. Doesn't matter if it's good weather, bad weather, rainy, hot, snow, cold. Some people, I mean, they literally live in their house. That's it. They go in their house, they live there, they die there. Somebody comes pick their body up when they die in their house. Then when their kids inherit the house, they have a estate sale. They can't wait to sell everything, liquidate it, so they can go live their own life. This is part of the life that I've learned. Okay. D says, I'm learning a lot by going on the weekends. That's good job. Tonight at Son's Backyard. That's right. You learn by doing. You learn by doing. There's a time for research. There's a time for planning. And then there's a time to do it. That's how you learn. Good job, D. Sammy Gilbert. Sammy, why is it that when I didn't have my car, I had everywhere to go? Now I can't think of one place I want to go. Least clothes. The reason it is because we are creatures of habits as humans. So people like to not have options, because then when you don't have the option to do something, you can blame it on the fact that you don't have the option. But when you have the option and capability to do something, then you have no one to blame but yourself. The reality is, even if you don't know what you want to do, get in your car and go outside your 30-mile radius and figure it out when you get on the road. Why? Because that's how you grow. Okay? You have to learn to just get out there and do it, and then figure it out as you go to some extent, and be responsible. But look, what's the worst going to happen if you go and you drive for an hour and a half? The worst that's going to happen is, you find a rest area that you could sleep at for one night. Or, even if you got a hotel room, you would still grow. You have to get outside. Just get in your car, start it, gas it up, and go. And play your music. Once you get past an hour and you listen to music, you're going to get inspired. There's going to be a magnet pulling you back to your comfort zone, pulling you back to your habits and your routine. Oh, it's 11 o'clock. If you were home, you would be eating cheese watching Sammy's replay on YouTube. I don't want you to spend your whole life, structuring around, watching me or watching the news or watching the royal wedding on TV at 11 o'clock. I want you to go out there and live your life. Let somebody watch your YouTube channel of life. Whew, very powerful. Good job, Gilbert. Get out there. Lisa Ray. Hey, Sam. Laugh out loud. I came in at the right time. My neighbor just passed away. Oh, you've seen that then. And that is so true. I'm teaching that truth. Never saw him unless he went to the store or to get food. That's right. Good job, Lisa Ray. Good to see you. Love and respect. Look, is it scary to go outside and to actually engage life and to travel and to get out on the road? Yeah, it is. But let me tell you something. What doesn't happen, if you don't do that and you stay in your house, you're going to be watching reruns of the Kardashians until you die. And even if you're somewhat intelligent and you actually canceled cable, because if you still have cable, disaster. But if you're just watching YouTube and you're just watching me or other people or whatever, that's good. But it's only good to the point that it lights a fire in you to get out there and live your own life. That's why, I'm not selling you stuff. I'm not selling you merchandise. I'm not branding myself to you. I am telling you, be you. How do you become yourself? By getting out there, figuring it out as you go, pushing yourself a little bit, being scared and go anyway. You're going to get drawn to go back to your comfort place. You have to keep going. You have to keep going. Forward. Very good. Robert, Google top 10 things to do for wherever you are, at where you're at, or where you like to go. Look, that's right. I always say your smartphone is your biggest resource. Back in the day, there used to be road maps. You used to stop at a gas station to ask people where to go. Now, all you have to do is ask Google. When I travel, I use Google to Google local rest areas, to Google Walmarts, and I just hit directions and I'm right there. And also to, see events, see what's going on. Google is your friend. That's how you map things out. That's how you can research. And there's tutorials on different areas on YouTube and everywhere else. So do the research, but just get out there and figure it out. Go for a walk, figure it out. Good job. Richard? I'm working overtime every day to save up for a trip. Thailand. Smiley face emoji. Nomadic life equals you aren't tied down to anything. And the world is your playground. I mean, that's right. I mean, being a nomad is freeing. There is a season of the nomadic life that is fully based on exploration. That's usually your first year of fully being free. After that, after you've traveled to different places you want to travel, the next season of the nomadic life, for me anyway, in my experience, is you're going to want to be around the areas that inspire you most. So if you travel the country, you may find an area within that country that's kind of your sweet spot. Then you're going to want to stay around there more than other areas. You still want the flexibility. You still want the acid of flexibility. But you also want to be where you're inspired the most because you've seen everything. But embrace both seasons. Embrace the exploration season. Then once you find the areas that inspire you the most, stay by your inspiration. When you stay by your inspiration, that's how you live a rich, positive life. There's nothing perfect. Everything gets boring, and you have to evolve. But forward, all caps. Gloria, hey Gloria. Gloria's got a Jeep Cherokee that she camps out of. Damn, I got up at 4 a.m. to watch that wedding. Puh, what a disaster. Now I'm outside photographing rainbows after a storm. There you go. Gloria's living her life. Good job, Gloria, because that royal wedding was a royal waste. Very disappointed, okay? Gloria, glad to see you out there using your creativity. What's creativity? Taking photos, doing videos, listening to music. Creativity is the documentation of your imagination. What is the greatest nation? Your imagination. How was Disneyland was built off imagination. Yes, you need a business plan. Yes, you need wisdom. Yes, you need practicality. But you also need that creative space in your mind to give you the vision, of what you want for your life. That's very important. And what I want for my life is this guy not to park right next to me. And what is he going to do? He's going to park right next to me. That's all right. All I have to do is start my car. I'm out of here. That's what I like. Okay. Janice, I went to bed at 4 a.m. Damn, that's late. Chris, Richard, sounds awesome. I like your mindset. Yeah, mindset's very important. Billy, you mean I can't buy a Sammy for president shirt? Nope, you can't. But love and respect. Thank you, Billy. Got love for you, brother. Gilbert, that was very inspiring. You are right. I have no argument with anything you said. Very wise words. Gilbert, I love you. I'm very proud of you. And I know you have it in you. Forward we go. Love you. Ray, Lisa Ray, I miss traveling. Something, vertigo, which is like you lose your balance. You can't balance yourself. Keeps me from doing. I've been lucky and been across country five times or so. I miss that. I want that again. Working on that health. Amen. Health is your wealth, mind, body, and soul. Take care of that first. What did I say? Self-care is the number one priority. Before you can spend quality time with anyone else, you have to spend quality time with yourself. The relationship you have with yourself sets the tone for every other relationship in your life. Never forget that. Okay? Now, even if you can't grow across the country, vertigo, you should still be able to go, a little bit outside of your radius, your 30-mile radius, safely and responsibly. But of course, you better than you. Lisa Ray, we love you. Forward. Sound John. And we're all going to die. Oh, that's right. In this world, definitely. So, and if you watch that royal wedding, you may die a little bit earlier. Sooner than you think. What the hell is everyone waiting for? That's what I'm talking about. Urgency. Gotta live with urgency. Good job, Sound John. Gilbert, I have a cell, but just a regular one, and have just convinced me to upgrade. Yeah, look, I do. Look, finance an $800 phone for $35 a month for 2 years. To me, your phone is your best investment in a technology era. You have every book available to you on the phone. You can watch videos. It's your entertainment. Cancel the Netflix. Cancel your TV. Cancel everything. All you need is an upgraded phone and an unlimited data plan. Unlimited data plan. That's it. You don't need any, you can use Wi-Fi at a library, at Starbucks, at Walmart. You don't need, Wi-Fi at your house. All you need is your phone. Unlimited plan, upgraded phone. It's a camera. It's a video maker. I'm going live right now on my phone. You can do business emails. You can send documents to yourself. You can buy and sell your house using your phone. Did I buy and sell I sold my house using my phone. I signed the contract right on my phone. Then I sent it via email to the lawyer. Come on. Some people, come on. Very important. Gloria, I love Garmin, Google Maps, and MapQuest. I pick a direction in the morning and go. That's what I'm talking about. Good job. Get out there and explore. Oh, May West, love and respect to Brooklyn's in the house. Hey, May, good to see you. Richard, wow. I haven't thought of it like that. Thanks. Thank you, Richard. Good to see you. Richard, royal wedding. Haha. It's so shallow and empty. I mean, look, it is. I'm not mad at anyone who wants to believe in love. I'm not against love, but I'm against the show. What I saw today, big show, not a lot of love. Not liking it. Not good. Dave, I didn't miss a thing by not watching that wedding. Oh, you didn't. All you missed was a throw up emoji and a dookie emoji. Bunch of bullshit, in my opinion. Yolanda, okay, I'm going to make window coverings for my car windows. There you go. Measurements, reflecting, spelling. I already have the insulating materials. I'm going to need a serious window tint for next trip. Which you, in my opinion, Yolanda, I love you. Just go to Walmart, spend $10, $20, get sunshades, buy enough for every window cover, and that's it. Forget the measuring, forget the exotic insulation, reflectors or reflect. It's not insulation. It's just a piece of tinfoil. All I would say, in my opinion, do what you want. Don't mind fuck it. Get $10 Walmart sunshade covers, put them up, squish them between your sheets. That's it. It's a go. Don't make it harder than you want. But if you want to do it, do what you want. But this is my opinion. This is how I live. Love you. Chris, at Lisa Ray. Health comes first. Totally agree with that. Let me drink some water because I'm getting a little fired up. Health comes first. Hope you overcome. Yes, we're going to pray for her. Vertigo, my friend. Chris says, I'm a traumatic brain injury survivor, and I know that you are dealing with peace. Amen, Chris. Thank you for sharing your story. Love and respect to you and Elisa Ray. Prayers and blessings. D. Richard, health is wealth is a true statement. That's right, brother. Medical debt is the #1 cause of bankruptcy in America. That's right. Preach it. Totally agree. That's true. D. Give another symbol emoji. Gloria. I have vertigo, but it doesn't keep me down. There you go. I like that. I have a wheeled walker. That's what I'm talking about. Use a resource if you need. For bad days, and I still go. That's right. When I fall down, I just get back up. Gloria, I like your spirit. Good job, Gloria. Look, use resources like Gloria. Use a walker, use a stroller. I mean, they have so many things you could buy at like CVS now. My mom has one of those things. And if you don't have anything else, get a shopping cart. Get a shopping cart, take hold of that thing, and just wheel around. Now, some people laugh at that, but I don't. Why? Because, look, use the resources you need to use to keep yourself moving. Movement is life. Idleness is the devil's playground. I'm dead serious about that. Good job, Gloria. Lisa Ray, at Chris, thanks. It's hard to stay positive. What it is, I have compassion. But got to keep moving forward. I like that, Lisa Ray. Good job. Robert, a.k.a. Traveler Man. I have a couple of excellent free movie apps. All right, let's hear them, Robert. Robert, my brother gave me his Netflix sign-on. Robert's sitting on the back end. Robert, man, getting a free Netflix. We love Robert. Selling John. In 16 weeks, Verizon will be the bill Selling John has. That's what we're talking about. Forward sunglass emoji. Good job, Selling John. Robert and Plopo and Tubi TV are very good apps. Okay. Gloria says $4 million show. Oh, yeah. You're talking about the royal wedding disaster. Good job. Robert says, no cable bill. Thumbs up. Amen. Now, if you still got cable, you're getting scammed. You got to let go of that cable. Yolanda, cool. Robert, cable. I got you, brother. Good comment. All right, guys. The Jeep Renegade is fogging up. Why? Because I'm getting fired up. But why? It's better, you got to have a little passion in life. And you got to take me in context, okay? I'm trying to have a good time, but I'm also serious about a lot of stuff I say, okay? But at the end of the day, it's all about moving forward, however you define it for you. Gilbert says, Sammy, I find it sad that people work their whole lives for nothing, just to their time and whatever money they decide to give you at retirement. Well, I totally agree. Now, look, I preach and live responsibility. You're going to need a job. You're going to need income. So I'm not trying to tell you to, just live irresponsibly. But what I'm telling you is there's a way to work, to earn your own income, to live below your means, and to own your life more on your terms. And that's what I do. Gilbert, it's like we work to pay our death. Well, I agree with that. If you get caught in that consumerism trap, it's true. But freedom and free we go. Gotta live below our means. Sailing John says, thanks, Sam. Have a great night. Thank you, Sailing John. Thank you, each and every person who left a comment. Thank you, each and every person who gave a thumbs up. Thank you. I appreciate everyone. I appreciate you sharing your story. Your story inspires other people, even when you share your struggles. It's healing for others. And I read every comment, whether it's in here or on my regular videos. And what I can tell you is, you guys inspire me. And that's not a bunch of bullshit. Okay, I appreciate it. And Gilbert says forward. Chris says all free movies I get are X-rated. Yeah, I watch. What do I watch? XNXX.com. Good ones on there. Robert, laugh aloud. Gilbert, forward. All right. D, good night. All right, guys. Whether you're going to watch MILF porn tonight, whether you're going to watch the rerun of that royal wedding, or you're going to watch YouTube videos on RVing, whatever you do, make it inspiring. And make it so that it lights the flame that's inside you. Whatever you watch should not extinguish your flame, but it should ignite your flame so that you live your life to the fullest. Go in peace, and thank you.